الدين ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. ثم ما بعد. My brothers and sisters, for the last almost few days I've been through sort of an internal crisis which I just decided to bring it up to share with my beloved ones, my brothers and sisters. Being a physician, each and every single individual, we think that when you have a disease, if you are sick, we are talking about an organ, which is your body part. If you have a headache, it's called a headache. If you have a stomach pain, it's called a stomach pain. If you are vomiting or you have something else within your body, immediately you have to have signs, symptoms, and you have to reach to somebody between quote unquote called a physician, a doctor, who will, he or she will give you something to relieve your pain. Today, the disease, the most important disease on earth, I can argue with anybody that it's more and worse than a cancer. Each and every single individual in this masjid and the whole world of Kuwait, most of us are experiencing this type of disease. It's not an HIV, it's not Zika, it's not anything except the disease called Al-Ghaflah, the heedless, the negligence, the ignorance. Each and every single individual in this life, we are going through this disease. It's within our culture, it's within our home and our relationship. So many times that we feel depressed. Did you ever ask yourself why you are having the signs of depression before you seek the medical advice? Most of the people who have organic sickness, if they don't have the disease of ghafla, the ignorance or the negligence, they will overcome their headache. Because for us as Muslims, the nation of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, if we really believe and have the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that any moment in our life, if we suffer from anything, immediately we jump to pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take away this pain. Al-Ghaflah and those people being called Al-Ghafilun. There is nothing being mentioned in Al-Quran Al-Kareem where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave that title or that adjective. Ghafla is a disease. The one who has the disease, he will be labeled as ghafil, the headless, the ignorant. Let me bring it more and more to you, my brothers and sisters. If we are not praying Fajr on time in masjid, believe it or not, the whole day of yours will be disturbed. If you get used to be away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yumhil wa la yuhmil. Allah give you the chance to go back and to recover and to correct your mistake towards Him. For any disease, you have to have certain signs, because the question comes, How will I get to know that I have that disease? One of the scholars, he said, you have to have 3 signs. And those 3 signs are so important. Number 1, عدم الاشتياق للجنة. He or she don't care if they go to heaven. You are not looking forward to go to heaven. This is one of the signs. Sign number 2, عدم الخوف من النار. He or she are not caring about النار. They don't care about the fire hell. As a matter of fact, all of us being touched at time by a burn, and immediately we said, Ya Rab, ajirni min al-nar. Ya Rab, take care of me. Don't put me in the fire hell, because we tested. And the 3rd sign of the disease of Ghaflah, عدم الخشية من الوقوف بين يدي الله. We don't care, we don't scare from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One day we will be standing on the day of judgment to be asked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers and sisters, those signs, take them and think about them, because most of us, with this life situation and with the current crisis, all of us are into deep in this life. This life is not our life. Our life, when the moment of death, this is the time of life started. So in this life, we have to prepare ourselves. Before I conclude my first khutbah, I will ask all of us, how many times we be visitors of the graveyard? Did you ever think that when you were visiting, you are a visitor to the graveyard, al-maqbara, where you are carrying somebody? Did you ever think that one day will come, you will not be a visitor, you will be carried and you will be buried? Think about, my dear brothers and sisters, and think and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us all and to give us the chance and not to be among those al-Ghaflah. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. أما بعد. While I'm watching the timer, it says here 22 of Sha'ban. It's not the 22 of Sha'ban, it's around 20. So 9 or 10 more days dividing us away from Ramadan. How many of us, if you go in the streets, you notice those people who are doing all the things against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are the devils, the movies, everything being advertised. As a matter of fact, next to the traffic light, there's a big ad about the type of movies which are going to be shown in Ramadan. And what I noticed is that the repeat, they have the live one, which comes exactly during iftar time. And the repeat, if you are not able to catch at the iftar time, you can catch it at Fajr time, which was to be repeated at 4 or 5 a.m. Those 2 moments where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing you, those 2 moments where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is observing you, watching you and listening to you, you ask forgiveness from Him. So my dear brothers and sisters, please plan your Ramadan ahead of time. Don't plan Ramadan for food. Don't plan Ramadan for leisure. Don't plan Ramadan for complimentary things. Plan Ramadan to renew your istighfar, to renew your tawbah. How many of us in this masjid were with us as of last year? They are right now not with us anymore. They are in their graveyard. Do we have now the proof? Do we have the certificate that I will be alive until the first day of Ramadan? No way. Are we having the proof that we will survive and to reach Laylatul Qadr? No way. The only condition you can do it, to have a good intention, niyyah, and pray to Allah. Ya Rabb, ballighna Ramadan. Ya Rabb, ballighna Laylatul Qadr. My dear brothers and sisters, sit down today with your family member, with your friends, plan Ramadan properly. Quit, put off everything for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala watching you. If you're going to do it for Him, He will bless you. Before I conclude, Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Month of Ramadan is the month of Al-Quran Al-Kareem. Do you know that one of the scholars, he counted what are the amount of hasanat in each khatmah. Can you imagine, my brothers and sisters? One khatmah, which means the holy book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Quran, it counts more than 3 million hasanat. Anybody, all of us are materialistic. We love money, we love numbers. So if you are smart enough, is not to go behind the stock markets. Go behind your own stock markets, which is your hasanat. How many of us did finish one khatma in Rajab, or did finish one khatma in Sha'ban? By the way, still you have a chance. 10 more days, you can finish one khatma. Every day, 3 chapters, 3 ajza from Al-Quran Kareem. By the end of Sha'ban, you will already have more than 3 million of hasanat. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين واذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر اللهم اعداء الدين. اللهم وانصر من نصر هذا الدين واخذل من خذل هذا